Okay, so in this video, we're gonna use the Forest TTK theme. It is built with Tkinter, but its UI is awesome, like its modern designs. Just deleting some unnecessary files. Now let's import our favorite Python library, the Tkinter. Let's create a root app. The app's title is Employees Time in Out System. Let's put our Forest Tkinter TCL file. I decided that I'm gonna use the dark theme for this app. Let's put our app dimensions. And disabled the resize mode. Okay, let's create our mainframe. Now for our widget's frame. It's for our buttons to be separated with the table. Let's create our buttons. Okay, let's create our table frame. Now our scroll bar for our table. And put it into our headers for table. I'm creating a dummy data for our table. Now I'm going to create a loop that deletes the data in our table, and another loop to puts datas for table, just like refreshing the table. We forgot to pack our table or put our table into our frame. Okay, it works. Now I'm gonna adjust something in the width. Let's add a real-time run-in under the table. I'm going to create a function that returns the current time. Variant parameter is to indicate what format do you like. HMS for hours, minutes, and seconds. HM for hours and minutes only. Okay, now let's put it into our UI. I'm gonna create a function that triggers when it's 1 second after. Then the function repeats itself after 1 second, so that our time is up and run in real time. Let's create a function that have a parameter called variant. It indicates what we've clicked, if it is time in or out. Let's create a new window with a title that's based on variant. Now let's create our frame. Okay, now let's create another frame, but this time it has a label, and inside of it is our inputs. It's time for our employee ID input. I'll create a bind effect whenever our cursor clicked. The input deletes its placeholder. Okay, now for our password input. Lastly, for our time in or time out. But it's disabled, so it cannot be changed. Oh, I forgot to put a command into our time in button. Let's put the value of our parameter in here. Okay, it works, but the theme is light. Let me fix something. Oh, it's modal instead of root. But our placeholder didn't delete it when we clicked. Forgot to put event as an E. Okay, now let's create our submit button. Also, let's create a function submit. Our submit function have a parameters modal, variant, e_id, password, and time. But the value comes from our inputs. Let's print the parameters to check its values. Now let's create a condition that validates our inputs. If it is have a valid value, if the values are not valid, a message box will appear and return the function. And if it is valid, our modal will close. Yes, it works. Let's create our database. We're gonna use phpMyAdmin MySQL. Let's create our table. ID an integer for our primary key, and other is just a medium text with a default null. And for another table for our employees' information. Let's create our sample data. Let's create our connection function for our database. We're going to use PyMySQL library, but first just install it using pip. Put your database credentials in here. And let's configure our exception to see the error information if it has occurs. Okay, let's initiate our connection. Let's convert this into a function so that we can refresh our data in our table. Now, let's create read function that reads data from database. Then we will use it later to our refresh table function. Then it returns the fetched data. Let's put our function in here that returns data. Let's insert data in outtime and outtable. Okay, it works. Now let's create our save function. That saves the time in or out of our employee. Let's create a query that identifies the employee ID and password if it is correct. If there is no result, then it pop up a message box that says incorrect EID or password. Let's put the result index number 2 into name variable to be used later. Now let's create a query that checks if the employee are already time in or out. So if the result is equal to that, means she are already time in. So if he or she are not already time in, we're gonna create an insert query that inserts our data to our time and out table. And for our timeout, instead of equal, we're gonna use not equal. Then we're gonna use update query to update the timeout time. Let's put a condition in here if the save function returns true. Then the modal will close, and if it is false, the modal are still viewable. Let's clear our time and out table to test if our functions works. Yes, it works fine. We're gonna create our functions for the download Excel and clear data button. But first, we're gonna fix the error on our code. It duplicates the time and data. Okay, let's try it now. It works. Oh, there's an error. Let me fix it. Okay, let's remove this one. We don't need this. It worked fine now. Now let's create our clear data function. We're gonna use the message box ask yes or no to prompt it to the user and verify once if he or she want to delete all the records. This message box returns true or false, a Boolean value. Forgot to add command in our button. Yes, it works fine. Now, let's create function for download Excel button. We're gonna save the file as CSV. Also, we need to import the CSV library. Let's add some data. Yes, it works. Let's add more data. Thank you for watching.